be yourself, love, be yourself, and be the best you can be. Thank you very much for that. So we'll go over to the next question. Who is going to play my game? We'll ask, what 3 words best describes Toastmaster Biola Olatunde? What 3 words, in your opinion, would best describe Toastmaster Biola Olatunde? Who is going to play my game? Okay, I see Toastmaster Chidi, Chukwudi-Madu. Thank you for joining us. If you can hear me, confirm you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Wonderful. Should I repeat the question again, or are you good to go?
I'm good to go. I had a question.
Great. Your time starts now.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you. I'm Table Topics Master. 3 words that I would use to describe the late Toastmaster Biola. 1, she's a quintessence. If there's a word to describe a human who is almost perfect in any way, I think that's her. She's a quintessence. She puts herself out there and she strives to be the best. She's a mother hen. She would mother you. She doesn't care where you come from. She doesn't get to know who you are. She would be there for you as a mother. And she is the #1 cheerleader. She will cheer you on to the very last. She believes in everyone that comes across her. I don't know how she does it, but I know in the period that I've known her, she would always reach out. She sees a post, she's always going to reach out to say, wow, congratulations, I knew you could do this. Go ahead, keep pushing, next level. Every morning, she drops a message, and then she just calls just to catch up to know how you're doing. So she's a mother hen, she's a quintessence, and she's everyone's #1 cheerleader. Those are the 3 words I will use to describe her. Back to you, Madam Table Topics.
More than perfection, Team Chidi, Chukwudi-Madu. Mother hen, quintessence, and cheerleader. Amazing. So our next question will be, this is going to be a fun one. So it's going to be a mimicking game. You can answer any question you want, but mine would be, I want an impression. Do we have actors on the call? So I want an impression of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. If you're going to be able to pull this off, you can speak on anything you want to speak about. I just want to get the gestures, mannerism, the way she talks. If you can do this, play my game. Say hello, or mute yourself and say hello. Dun, 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 dun. I can see them, I know them, the talent is there, but they don't want to show their face. If you are game, let me know. Counting down, 5, 4, 3, 2. TMSE gone. You have been called to the lurk pen. Kindly unmute yourself and give us an impression of late Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Speak on anything you want. You have 2 minutes. Kindly unmute yourself to confirm you received my message loud and clear.
Message received loud and clear.
2 minutes. Your time starts now.
All right, greetings, Toastmasters and guests. I am excited to have you be part of this meeting. I am sure that my teddy bear will definitely at some point in time give you his Latinized English with chospa and make everyone laugh. And of course, the VPE as well, TM John, our engine room. It is going to be fun. It is going to be interesting. I'm trying to find her tongue now because that can be very, very coruscating. Everybody has done coruscating now, but we will coruscate at the end of the day, and we will do it with chospa. Yeah, it was who brought that jaw-breaking word for the day into the meeting and caused every Sunshine Toastmaster to be Chosparius, if there's anything like that. So I have gotten into my character. I've left the character now. But it's all good. Let me just wrap it up here, and I'll do the rest when I get to take my prepared speech when the time permits. Thank you. Over to you, topics master.
With chutzpah, you did justice to that. Thank you very much. And so my next question would be, permission. I think I've lost count of time, accurate timer. How many more minutes do I have for this? 1 more minute.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. So let's take this quickly. What was the best or worst compliment you received from Toastmaster Biola Olatunde? Best or worst compliment you received from Toastmaster Biola Olatunde? Who is going to take that question? Tell us about the time she yabbed you and be like, so you can do this to me. That's what you wanted. So, best or worst compliments you ever received from her? It would be an interesting one. Who would like to share? Dun, 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 dun. No one is coming up. I would like a family member to take this if you don't mind. I would love a family member to take this. The time she threw a pan at your head. So it'll be interesting to hear. If you don't mind, I would love a family member to take this. The best or worst compliment you ever received from her. Anybody?
Madam Topics Master, point of order, please. Encourage the respondents to use the word of the day.
Thank you for reminding me to be a pioneer in using the word of the day. And so I'm going to incorporate it as we go along. Thank you. So should I hold on for someone to take that question? Oh, yes, there we have Abosede Oyekunle. You can unmute yourself and let me know when you're ready to take off.
All right, thank you very much, CM Pamela. Allow me not to use my video because I'm currently not in an environment where I can. My name is Toastmaster Abosede Oyekunle, and I would like to talk about the compliments, or should I say the negative compliments. But as Toastmasters, we take feedback because feedback is the breaker of champions. CM Olatunde, when I had the opportunity of speaking with her while I was the VP membership of my club, DA Toastmasters Club, the premier corporate club in Nigeria. And she said something that Ondo states, they don't really like to spend so much. And that's one of the issues we're having with membership. Not knowing that I'm also from Ondo State, even when I reside in Lagos. And I gave it back to her immediately. I took it personal. Toastmaster Biola, I'm also from Ondo State. Please don't say that we don't like spending money. Anyway, we ended that conversation laughing and getting to know ourselves better. What a pioneer president, what a passionate woman, an exemplary leader that never grew. Her passion about communication is ageless. It just didn't dim. Today and forever, I would always remember this pioneer president of Sunshine Toastmasters as a woman who gave a feedback, though negative at that time, but now stays as a positive compliment forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abosede Oyekunle, for that. And I'll have one final question. I'll be directing this to Toastmaster, I believe, Dotun Eliezer. If you don't mind, unmute yourself. Your question is special, tailored just for you. If you are ready to play my table topics game, please unmute yourself and I'll ask the question.
Go ahead, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you for joining us. So my question will be this. What's the one thing you think late Toastmaster Biola Olatunde would like us to remember about her? What's the one thing you think late Toastmaster Biola Olatunde would like us to remember about her?
Thank you once again for that wonderful question. I guess it's one of the dividends you get to have when you come late to a meeting. So sorry for that. Madam Biola Olatunde, it's still a shock to me personally, because I think it was about this time 3 years ago, just around this time 3 years ago, that we got connected, just by, as life would have it, because I was in transition that time, working towards my DTM, and I was looking for how I could help in terms of starting a new club. So I had to think outside of the box in seeing how I could make that happen, knowing that where I'm based right now in North America, those opportunities are saturated. Kudos to what's happening in Africa, where there's so much growth when it comes to Toastmasters. And so it's easier to start things because the market, the environment provides that, but not so here in North America. So I had to think outside of the box to see I can make that happen. And I saw that there's been this opportunity in West Africa on trying to start some new clubs, but it's stalled. And that's how I got to meet with Madam Biola Olatunde. Then we actually got to know that we have some distant relationship connections as well, because she knows some of my in-laws. And then we got talking to see how we can make that happen. And in the process, I know that she's been working with some wonderful people like Kayode, Yussuf, and some other people in District 94 for some time to make this be. And so in all of that, if to answer the question, what would she would like to be remembered for? She would like to be remembered for the fact that she started something that would benefit other people in terms of public speaking, in terms of communication. It's her passion. She lived for it. She wrote books in some way about it. She practiced it. And so on this special day, when sadly we are remembering her passing on, again, it's about the fact that she wanted people to really benefit, to discover who they are and be the better version of themselves. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you for that wonderful tribute. She would love us to remember that she was a pioneering member that championed the cause of benefiting from the club and being the best versions of ourselves. On this note, I will be closing out the table topic session. I thank you all for participating. This was interesting and no one cried. Bonus points. Thank you very much. I hand over to you, Toastmaster Craig. Thank you.
All right, thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Pamela. And I observed painstakingly that while you were conducting the table topics portion, you wore the pioneer spirit of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Well done for that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ask me, she was an unflinching paragon of communicative competence and poetic brilliance. She was a pioneer. We're now going to segue the meeting into the prepared speeches segment. We have 4 speeches in the offing, and all of these speeches are going to pay glowing tribute to this coruscatingly brilliant woman. Our first speaker would be Toastmaster Segun Omojola. Segun is a polymath who has contributed substantially to the growth and development of several organizations and society as a whole. Fellow Toastmasters and our impassioned guests, Segun has an unflagging fascination for learning. And guess what? He's the resident pastor of the Victorious Church. The title of his tribute speech is But for Her. But for Her. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our first speaker, Toastmaster Segun Omojola.
It was Isaac Newton who postulated that an object will either remain in perpetual motion or standing in a place until an outside force acts on it. To break that down, it's either you remain where you are until an external force acts on you. And I think it is okay for me to start this particular presentation by saying that our dearly departed Toastmaster Biola Olatunde, the pioneer president of Sunshine Toastmasters Club, is an external force indeed. And my story as an individual will be incomplete without her. She played a very interesting role in my journey to where I am today, and of course, to my future. Let me start from years back when I first came in contact with our dearly departed Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. I had the privilege of cutting my leadership and communication teeth, being a volunteer with Youth for Christ International. It was a time of immersive training, growth, and development for me. I had the privilege of serving with the choreography team. I had the privilege of serving also with the music team, as well as the drama team. And by virtue of my curiosity and interest, I became the pioneer dance team leader. And I can say with every sense of responsibility that dance teams in Ondo State evolved from the pioneering job that I did as being the first dance coordinator of Youth for Christ International back then. Moving on, I had the opportunity, of course, as a dramatist, to act on several stages. I had an opportunity to become a broadcaster, serving with Youth for Christ International. I was privileged to be the presenter of their HIV/AIDS themed program, Tagged in Touch, on OSRC, that's Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation here in Ondo State. And that afforded me the opportunity to be a screen god, if I might say, for a young man who had been interested in communicating and who had seen several people do that on TV and looked forward to one day doing that. Now getting that opportunity was a big deal for me. But that is not even where our path crossed in talking about the late Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Remember that I did mention that I did a lot of acting on stage. Then I was opportune also to be a part of a home video production in Ibadan. It was a Christian themed home video, which in the days of VCR, I never got the opportunity to watch because by that time VCRs were over, but it happened. Now fast forward to meeting Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Well, that time she was not a Toastmaster. She was heading FSO's communication, which was her communication outfit at that point in time. And she got funding to produce a TV series or episodal drama for the Handicapped Foundation. It was themed around promoting love for those who are physically challenged. That is, the hearing impaired, the speech impaired, and the others. And I was opportune to land a role in that particular gig. Now I have a chance to not just act on the big screen, but to earn, while acting with my skills. It was an interesting time because we were camped in location for that production. My character was to befriend a speech and hearing impaired female as my girlfriend. And you can imagine my joy when that led to me having to learn sign language. My first interaction with sign language was on that production under the auspices of Biola Olatunde. Interesting to note, I am back teaching my family right now sign language because it is an interesting language. And that was how our relationship started. And we kept moving on until we had an opportunity to be a part of another production, which didn't get the chance to air because there was no funding. But I could say for sure, and as you can know, that my pioneering experience on the screen on a TV series was brought about by Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. And of course, my first pay as an actor as well. And then my exposure to sign language. I'm using the other hand to hold my device, but imagine my other hand is doing this. That is the sign for sign language. Yeah. And so let me just quickly say, I love you. Yeah, that is the sign of love. Love is supposed to be together. So imagine my other hand overlapping the other on my chest, and I love you. The journey to becoming a Toastmaster started when she suddenly invited a couple of us and talked about Toastmasters. And I was like, I have spent years communicating. I have done, TV shows. I've mastered several ceremonies. I have been part of several productions. So what exactly is this Toastmaster thinking? What is it going to do to me? She, when asked 3 things to describe her during the table topics, if I was the one, I would have said the 3 words to best describe her is she's dogged, she's tenacious, and she's obstinate. I know that would be a kind of tautology, but that best describes her. But for her, I would not have been a Toastmaster. And that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And also, but for her, I would have given up the Toastmaster journey. I would have encouraged, but her tenacity, her doggedness, her obstinacy in driving everyone forward actually ensured that I am here today. Sunshine Toastmasters is here today, and we have a fresh team leading this particular club to new horizons. My times with her and her family, because I had a chance to be a part of the family at that point in time. I met Serena, I met Mubolaji. It took me a while to meet Perry. I was just hearing about him. I met Ella, and Ella was how do I describe her now? I went after her seriously because in my mind, I was like, why did you wait for me to meet you before making a decision to marry? Okay, now you get that one. Let's leave that other one and move on. And of course, I met Diana. back then when we had the opportunity of being part of the production, because she took everyone that was on the production as part of her family, including our big uncle, Uncle Tunde. Amazing man. My story, my autobiography, my biography, without the auto, will not be complete without a mention of Biola Olatunde and her pulling me into Toastmasters made me realize that it was totally uncool to do you see, because I used to feel that that was how to go. When I saw people on TV do that, I felt that was the cool way to communicate until I became a Toastmaster. And I realized that it was totally off. So now I find it difficult to listen to people who do it grates my ear like two metals clanging together, and makes me realize that people really need to know more about Toastmasters. And I want to seize this opportunity to welcome our guests, that this is Toastmasters, and this is how we do. Here we grow, and here we bloom. Adieu, Toastmaster Biola Olatunde.
All right, thank you very kindly for that endearing tribute speech. If you enjoyed that, please let's give him the jazz hand this way, everyone. This way, jazz hand. Right. Right. Well done, Toastmaster Shego Amojala, for that endearing speech. I love the fact that you used 3 words to summarize in an admirably succinct fashion the individuality of this great or terrific woman, dogged, tenacious, and obstinate. Well done. All right, Toastmaster John Awodeyi, who is our next speaker, please?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Cray, for holding up the meeting up until now. We just had that beautiful delivery by the first speaker today, Toastmaster Segun Omojola. If I might say, Toastmaster Segun Omojola had served in the leadership capacity in Sunshine Toastmasters. He had been the vice president membership twice. We are happy to have you speak today about your memories of the delectable late Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. It's time now to have the second speaker. And the second speaker, if I might tell you, is a welfare madam. Permit me to say the Nigerian way, the woman who cares and takes care of all. In the early days of Sunshine Toastmasters, when we had the awesome privilege of gathering together physically, we used to have a lot of eating to do after our meetings. This Toastmaster, who is the wife of a one-time commissioner in Ondo State, and is the beautiful mother of children who have gone on to excel greatly in life, and the proprietress of B. Group of Schools, is going to be our next speaker. She had been the president of Sunshine Toastmasters once in the past, and of course, vice president membership as well. Please make welcome today to speak next, Toastmaster Tope Sumonu. Toastmaster Tope Sumonu, please take over this virtual lectern.
Good evening, Toastmasters. According to Professor Daniel Simbalov, human beings are the worst invasive species. Please permit me to read what I have down. I wouldn't want to talk offhand, so I don't exceed my time. And as much as people see me as a strong woman, I'm quite an emotional person. And I don't want to start talking and break down in the process. But when I read what I have put down, it will be easier for me. I totally agree with Professor Simbalov. If you need to test your patience, try and set up a WhatsApp group. Put the rules and regulations there in black and white. Watch how the rules will be broken within the shortest possible time. To pioneer a project or to be a pioneer member of a club, of a group, as the case may be, puts a lot of pressure on one. Let us use Sunshine Toastmasters as a case study. In 2017, I got a call from a friend that I made during the Agagu regime. If we all know the late Dr. Agagu, he was the governor of Ondo State between 2003 and 2009. I got to meet Toastmaster Biola Olatunde in one of the outings of the wife of the executive governor then. She scheduled a meeting with me. I heard the word Toastmasters for the very first time. We all know what the word toast connotes. And even in our old age, I'm in my 60s, she was 70 last year, it wasn't strange to us. We still had people use those words for some of us, even in our old age like this. I was introduced to Toastmasters International by someone I've always admired, someone I've always seen to have a very good command of English. Her tenses, I used to listen to her. She would not only speak in English, she would speak Yoruba, she would speak Igbo, she would speak Hausa. In all those outings I have met with her. If someone I see as an expert could still aspire to get better, what will be my excuse not to align with this idea? Noble other members like Toastmaster Segun Omojola, Toastmaster Ajishafe, Toastmaster, a good number of them were equally introduced, they were brought in, and we started our meeting in this small office. I think we were about 5 then. We were meeting every Thursday. And despite the fact that the membership was supposed to improve us individually, we left everything to her. And that is the cost of being a pioneer member of a club. The rest of us will wait for her to update us on what is expected of us as Toastmasters. We left everything for her to do. She did it so well. And God bless her with a sponsor in person of DTM Dotun Eliezer. Fast forward to 2018. The club got chartered, and we were blessed with the presence of eminent Toastmasters, including our DTM Kayode Yussuf, that we were communicating with, and we actually assumed him to be an Agbalagba, pardon my Latin English. For us to see this gorgeous, smiling young man introduced to us as Kayode Yussuf, please allow me reserve my comments on that. Attendance was always an issue, and the pioneer president will make it a point of duty to call on each of us, chat with us, to remind us to come and learn, to come and improve, to come and achieve something. Remember, the benefit is for our individual growth, but we still left it for her to do for us. Finance and membership drive was a major problem, like somebody mentioned there in Ondo State. And she was always ready to go out scouting for members, begging them to join Toastmasters International, going to ministries, going to see permanent secretaries. And I remember one day when my husband spoke with us, She was there, her husband was there, and my husband said, "You are sitting on a gold mine with your eloquence. You can actually set up a kind of committee, a kind of group, and meet with all these, what do they call them? All these politicians that can hardly speak well. You say you can start your own group by charging them at a fee to pay to be taught how to talk in a public." But she said, Toastmasters International is not for that. Though we can do something that can fetch us money, but it is not the major aim of Toastmasters. There was always this encouragement for us to keep the flag of Sunshine Toastmasters flying. That was her pride. The ability to identify stars and make the best of them was not lost on her. Toastmaster John, Toastmaster Eze, Toastmaster Emeka, and a whole lot of others can testify to that. 6 minutes can never be enough to talk about the highlights of the leadership roles of our immediate past president, who is no more with us now. The most important tribute I believe she will expect from us at Sunshine Toastmasters, excellent and outstanding performance of the club. Rest well, Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. No one can ever call me my elegant lady the way you used to do. Thank you.
Thank you very kindly for that quite emotional rendition. Even though you read it, it went past the skin of our body to the marrow within the bone. The thoughts, the very kind thoughts you have of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde remind us of such a glory she embodied. And we will forever remember her for good. Thank you once again, Toastmaster Tokwe Sumono, for that one. Let me now please hand over to my co-anchor doing such a marvelous job today, Toastmaster Craig, to call on the next speaker. Toastmaster Craig, are you there?
Of course, I am here. Thank you most graciously, Toastmaster John. In point of fact, that tribute speech mesmerized my brain, magnetized my neurons, and melted my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have something else in the offing. Let's now go on to our third speaker, Toastmaster Pamela Ilikwachi. I introduced her quite early on because she served as the topic's chair or the impromptu speaking host. The topic or the title of her speech is Turning Anguish into Flowers. Turning Anguish into Flowers. Fellow Toastmasters and our distinguished guests, I present to you our third tribute speaker, Toastmaster Pamela Ilikwachi.
Can we remember a time when we were given directions to find a particular location? And despite all the descriptions, you miss your way. And you miss it a few times, and the person says, you know what, hold up, I will come and get you. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I'll tell you a story. So I recently got an invite to visit the house of a friend, and there I was, finding my way, following the description I was given. And when I finally got to this location, the streets, The quiet streets with houses on both sides. I was given one last instruction. Find the house with flowers in front. Of course, there I was trying to find a house with flowers in front, like a pioneer explorer trying to discover something new. I missed my way. How, you might ask? I had expectations of the flowers in front of the house. I had expectations of it being the sidewalk or the entrance of the house. And so I just focused my gaze on the street to see which houses would have a flower in front. But no, I was wrong. I missed it, and the guest had to come out of their house to get me because I couldn't find the house. Heartbreaking, isn't it? Guess what? It wasn't flowers in front of a house. It was a house in the midst of a million flowers. That was the first time I stepped into the home of our dearly departed Biola Olatunde. I found my way there and I was ushered into her presence. And within seconds, we had the best and one of the most unforgettable conversations I have ever had. In Toastmasters, we speak about understanding your communication style. In my current presentation, in my current pathway, understanding your communication style is part of the presentation mastery pathway. And in it, it talks about body language, facial expressions, touch, hand gestures, the likes. And we all tell ourselves everything is nonverbal or everything is verbal. So both verbal and nonverbal clues are all parts of communication. And there I was in her presence. Without uttering a word, I could hear her loud and clear. Just being in her presence, I could feel everything she was saying to me. And within seconds, her husband goes, I'm kind of confused. What is going on here? And I say, I have never met her in person. I have never been in the same physical space with her. Over the last 10 to 11 months, we have only been communicating on the phone, over Zoom meetings, over Google meetings, WhatsApp, SMSs. I knew her voice. I knew her. But I had not been in the same physical space with her. So this was interesting. And in the next few minutes, my hands in hers, holding it the entire time while I was cracking her up, wearing my silly hats. Her husband goes on about her life and times, and he talks and gives a beautiful tribute about her right by her bedside. She's cracking up, I know, and I have a lot of trouble, I know. But he goes on about how she wrote the series, I Need to Know. And man, I'm mind blown. And I go, I need to know. It shaped my life as a teen. Oh, I know the song. And I start singing. I need to know. Education is the key. So why do you deny it? And then he goes on again about how she spoke various languages, how she was a master of ceremony, how she was this larger than life being, who was a florist, who loved nature. And I said, wait, hold on. I can speak another language. I can speak Hausa. And he said, for real? She speaks Hausa a lot. And I said, hold on, let me speak Hausa for her. And I pull up my primary 3 Hausa book that has just pictures and words. And then I go, Baba ina tenadaka, tenadakadawa, Baba ina wasada musa, musi ina wasada muta, ina tena wasadaka, kakatena wasada ina. And I know she's cracking up. And it's hilarious because the entire thing is silly. But I had the best conversations with her. And I said, you are not your body. You are a beautiful soul. That was my first meeting with our dearly departed Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. After that experience, I realized that I don't have any tears for this loss. In the words of B.J. Miller, the physician, author, and speaker, who is also a triple amputee, in his very famous TED Talk of 2015, titled, "What Really Matters at the End of Life." He goes on about changing perspectives and how humans have that alchemy, the alchemy that humans play with to turn anguish into flowers. And on that note, I stand on the fact that I'm turning my anguish into flowers in tribute to the pioneer, president of Sunshine Toastmasters Club, who was the lady that lived in the home with a million flowers. Thank you.
All right, thank you very kindly. I equally would take my cue from you and turn my anguish into flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Toastmaster Pamela Elekwachi the jazz hand as well. Wow, Pamela, well done. Thank you very kindly. And you were able to encapsulate in that speech her flair for languages. Toastmaster Biola Olatunde was the first person who invited me to come to Sunshine Toastmasters to teach elocution, an action that was testament to her unrivaled predilection for communicative competence. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now hand you over to Toastmaster John to introduce the next speaker. Toastmaster John, please take the floor now.
Thank you very much once again for handing over the baton to me, Toastmaster Craig. Every time you pass it on, I receive it with so much trembling, knowing that the English doctor is the one passing me the baton. It has come to that time, or we have come to that time when we listen to someone who not only shares memories that can be spoken of, but memories that are tied together with blood. In the house today, we have children of our dear Toastmaster Biola Olatunde, and we will have one of them speak in this occasion. We have had Mr. Bolaji, who had spoken before, but we'll have one of them come now to represent the entire family, to recognize what we're doing here and speak of her late mother. Please make welcome with me a woman who is an artist, a woman who makes sculpture, but in more recent time has focused on fashion, making beautiful, elegant wares that people can dazzle in. She's the CEO of Melanin Integrated Services. She's located and based in Akure, Ondo State. She's the third child of late Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Do make welcome with me to give a speech to the house today, Mrs. Quadri Ella During. Mrs. Quadri Ella During, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me because the network is really bad here. It's really bad.
We can hear you very well, ma. Please continue.
Okay, thank you so much. First off, I must say it was fun, being part of your meeting and listening to how all of you talk. I've picked a few things, and I want to thank you all on behalf of all my siblings. All of us couldn't be here, though we tried. And I see Perry is here, Bolaji is here, and Serena a while ago. I'm not sure 5 minutes or 6 minutes or 1 hour would be enough, to talk about my mom. She's all of what you've described and so much more, so much more. You know, it's amazing when you hear people talk about your mother and you are like, that's my person. You know, she taught us so much. And like somebody said, she's very good with body language. I learned that from her. I hear I'm very good with body language and I can say a lot without opening my mouth. So naturally, I guess I picked some things off her. My mind is, I think the best word I can use is, you know, I realized sadly after her passing that was definitely an angel amongst us. Yes, she was. She had the largest heart you could think of. If you know all the trials and travails she has been through growing up, through her work career, her marital life, and she's still there on top. You know, all of us still try to catch up to our expectations, and she's just amazing. I find it so hard to talk about her in past tense because I feel like she's here. You know, sometimes when I'm talking, I can hear her corrections, you know, the way she will guide you. We fight a lot, yes, but she's my best friend. You know, she's one person, she's my go-to person. She's one person I can tell absolutely anything. You can tell her anything, and you know that whatever response she's giving you, she's giving her all. She doesn't believe in half measures. She's either talking, telling you her mind, or she's not talking at all. So I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure if I can say so much. I'm just trying to be strong. We were raised to be strong. She's a strong woman. My mom is a fighter. She will stand with you to the last. She will stay by you to the last. You know, if she's going to fight you, God help you, you're on your own. And if she's going to support you, you can count on her to be at the forefront of that fight. She is like that. She's passionate about whatever she does. Incidentally, when she wanted to start school, I'm not somebody that can easily mingle well to be in the background, but she wants to drag everybody out. So she's dragged me along like twice until I had to tell her, my mom, I can't do this. I'm not a speaker naturally, but I try to express myself. So I learned, even as an introvert, to express myself when I have to. I have a brother who is a stammerer. And if he stammers, you know, when he's angry, he tends to stammer, or when he's anxious about something, he tends to stammer. But when he's with her, she's not going to finish your sentence for you. She's just going to be there like a sponge ready to absorb whatever it is you have to say, but you're going to have to get it out yourself. And I noticed that he did stop stammering. Just noticed that he stopped. You know, she's a rock for everybody. Yeah, I would say she deserves all the credits you guys are giving her, and we are ever so grateful. So grateful, because the loss was beyond words for all of us. We all broke down. We were sure she was going to fight that illness. We were sure she was going to come out strong because she's fought it before and she's come out fully recovered. You know, it doesn't come easy when somebody comes fully recovered from stroke like that. She did. She fought it. So we were counting on that strength. Even up to the last moment, she was still fighting. But you could tell that her spirit was a million times stronger than her body. And I will tell you, she didn't live in pain. You know, she knew she was preparing all of us. And that's why we just had to, you know, give her that burial exactly how she wanted it. The best thing we could do was to respect her wishes. So many things we would have all loved to do. So many programs she was involved with, so many people she knew, so many things we would have wanted to, you know, carry along. But the important thing first is to respect the departed last wishes. Personally, she's a quiet person. She's somebody that likes to think, you know. She's a spiritual person, 100%. And somehow this rubbed off on all of us. I don't know what else to say, but I'm grateful. I'm really touched. I'm really, really touched. And on behalf of my brothers, my sisters, all of us, saying thank you so much. And I really wish you all the strength to go on, even way beyond where she has left you guys, or beyond her dreams for you guys, because she's always talking about Toastmasters. And one day I had to ask her, come, what exactly is the benefit you're getting from this? Every Sunday you're always off to this place, you're always, you know, into this, you're always, and she's always celebrating every win, like, I don't know. She's come a long way, but I'm at peace because I know she knows what to do thereafter. She knows her way home, and she will find her way home. That alone is comfort we all have. We all know that she's okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so very kindly, Mrs. Ella During. Such a rendition from your hearts that flowed to ours. At this point, Toastmasters and guests, I am filled with so much gratitude that I cannot begin to explain it. Looking at the faces in the building, I will take time to recognize us as we proceed in the course of this conversation, making sure that we do not, of course, exceed time. I see other family members, and I will surely pass on an opportunity to you to say a word. I see Mr. Perry. I've heard a few things about you. I would not say a lot because I hope to know a lot more. I hope that you would have a little opportunity. I know that you've said that you're in a busy place, but hopefully you're able to say hello to us, and that will be great. I see my leaders. I see Toastmaster Ifeanyi, Omoike. A time will come, please, that you will be able to say a word from your end. DTM Dotun, you've spoken earlier, but it's okay if you do want to get another chance. I see everyone, please, and we're looking forward to being able to have more conversations. Toastmaster Biola, it's been a while. Biola Fagbongbe right now. So at this point, let's take a poll. Toastmaster Craig, I hope that you're with me on this. I'm going to pull up a poll for our prepared speeches. Now, in Toastmasters, it is our culture to ensure that everybody gets an opportunity to tell which of the prepared speeches blew the roof for them. Which of the prepared speeches made the rain come down? Which of the prepared speeches will be something that you can never forget? Today we had 3 prepared speeches. The first one was given by Toastmaster Segun Omojola. Toastmaster Segun Omojola, can you turn on your video and let's see your face a bit now? Yes, we see that face. Toastmaster Segun Omojola is referred to as Teddy by the late Toastmaster. He is the trouble of the club. He, like Toastmaster Biola Olatunde, can speak Igbo, can speak Hausa, and those are a few things that they share, and they have refused to pass on to me. I have managed not to be angered by that mannerism. I will choose to respect the goodness of our God and trust that we will meet in the afterlife to resolve our concerns. Toastmaster Segun was the first speaker. The second speaker was our dear IPP. IPP, can you show us your face? Thank you so very much for that speech. And the third speaker was given by the latest engine, V8 engine of the club. You want to use a Tundra if you need a truck, a Tundra F-150 by Ford. If you want to go low, you need to use a Mustang, something like a Ferrari. This one is a V8 engine. Toastmaster Pamela gave the third speech for today. So it's time to vote. Which of the speeches did it for you? The poll will come up on your screen right now. You have a few seconds to select which of the speeches you liked the most. Now you have the poll. Choose your choice. I see the bars are moving. Oh, there's a lot of love. I see. Who has not voted? You need to vote now. After now, we're going to have the evaluations. Toastmaster Cray is going to channel us into that fora. All right. Permits me to ingest and to, of course, inject from my ingestion all of these words that Toastmasters International has helped me to garner from many, many meetings. Toastmaster Cray, you're going to help us to lead the evaluation after this. Now we're done with votes. Toastmaster Cray, over to you. Can we have evaluations?
All right, Toastmaster John, please confirm to me that the general evaluator is still on the call at the moment.
Sadly, I have to confirm to you that he is not, but he had informed me just before he left that he has reason to excuse himself. So let's see how we can work together to manage the house in the bit of time that we have left. Let's just have the evaluators maybe just come up to give the evaluations of the speeches and the grammarian and timer as well.
All right, thank you very kindly for that. Let me just take the liberty to inform our guests that evaluation is central to the philosophy of the Toastmasters educational system, because that is the moment of the meeting where we learn transferable communication, leadership, and public speaking skills to enhance our growth. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. The words of St. Jerome fundamentally encapsulates the symbolic significance of evaluation in the terrain of Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to commence with the formal evaluation of the prepared speeches. And our first evaluator is our Division F Director, Toastmaster Chidi Chukwudi-Madu, to evaluate our first speaker, Toastmaster Omoike.
She's no longer on the call.
All right, Toastmaster Chidi is no longer on the call. Toastmaster John, get ready to introduce the second evaluator. Evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. Who is now going to serve as the timekeeper, please? Who share the cards?
Toastmaster Cray, thank you for the work you're doing. Okay, Toastmaster Pamela just indicated that she will be helping with time. Meanwhile, I'd like to confirm that I see Toastmaster Chidi still connected. Maybe she cannot hear us, but I see a device still connected. So we might want to try a bit harder to get at after now. Maybe we take the second evaluator first.
All right, Toastmaster John, can you please relinquish control of the spotlight to the second evaluator, and then I would introduce the third evaluator.
Thank you most kindly, Toastmaster Cray. Thank you for helping to make this event an eventful one. Toastmaster Chidi, are you still there, ma'am? We see you connected.
Yes, I'm in the call. I'm here.
Thank you so very kindly, ma'am. It's time to give your evaluation of the prepared speech. Would you please now let the house know what your feedbacks are for the speaker, the first speaker, Toastmaster Omoike? Over to you, ma'am.
Oh, hi, good evening. Okay, so that's, I actually did not realize I was to do an evaluate Toastmaster Shegun's speech, but okay, so let's get this moving. Toastmaster Shegun, Let me be sure. Confirm you're still here and you can hear me. Master Shegun.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Great. Perfect. Right. Good evening, everyone, once again. Toastmaster Shegun, well, congratulations and well done on your speech. If I didn't know the late Toastmaster Biola, I'm certain I got to know her from your speech. You introduced her. It's interesting, your choice of words when you introduced her. 3 words: tenacity, doggedness, and obstinacy. Now, a person can be said to be obstinate in a negative way, but I love how you portray a positive side. That the fact that she follows through, she don't give up on anything, sets her heart on, and follows through it. And I love those tributes to her. You spoke about how your first encounter with her, how that relationship developed over time, the influence she had on you, professionally, personally, and then into the Toastmasters lately. Look how you brought it home, Toastmasters, considering that this is a Toastmasters meeting, a Toastmasters platform. The fact that your interaction with her paved way for you to be a pioneer and then become, in your words, superstar, a TV man. You're out there. I love how you're able to embody what she stood for. And the beautiful thing is, your speech was emotional, but you did not cry. Instead, you were able to give emotions in your listeners. You got to me, they're like, yes, this is one woman that I know a lot of people would love to meet. You painted her in a picture that showed that if the world had a lot of people like Toastmaster Biola, it certainly would be a better place. What do I think you did well also in your speech? You were vocal, your choice of words were on point. However, please, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I missed you for a few seconds there, but I can hear you now.
Okay. One thing that I think we should pay attention to is the timing. Well, I noticed that the red flag was on for a while, but you kept going. I agree that you had a lot of things to say, but it would be good to pay attention. Just like I'm seeing the red flag right now, I know it's time for me to stop. Overall, congratulations and well done on your speech. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
All right. Toastmaster Chidi Chukwudi-Madu, thank you very kindly for your insightful evaluation of the presentation of Toastmaster Shegun Omojola. I would like to equally remind you that you would evaluate Toastmaster Pamela Elekwachi speech as well. Let's go now to listen to the speech evaluator number 2, who is none other than Toastmaster Francis. He is, to the best of my knowledge, an experienced accountant who has been in the institution of Toastmasters for a significant number of years. Toastmaster Francis, please take the floor now and provide us with your evaluation.
Immense thanks, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day. Wonderful speech by Toastmaster Somonu. What an emotional one, and you found your way throughout the speech. It is always admonished to always welcome your audience with a warm smile. And I think you did that at the start, at the inception of your speech. You greeted all and welcomed all with a smile. It allowed us to warmly prepare ourselves for your presentation. You also welcomed us on board by giving a notable quote by Professor Sebalo: to test your patience, try to set up a WhatsApp group. What a thought-provoking quote to get the minds of your audience at work immediately. Well done, Toastmaster Top ceremony. It was an emotional one, and you had several stories. Your speech was filled with a replete of stories that talked about your relationship, your experiences you had with Toastmaster, our dearly beloved, our darling Toastmaster Biola, someone I admired. You held your hand to your chest, a great show of body movement. You also named names when you mentioned examples of stars she had established. She pioneered a number of things in your club, and you did justice by mentioning them. Today is a sober day, not a day for the extreme of evaluation like we would normally do in Toastmasters meeting. So your areas of improvement, it is imperative to tell us who Professor Sibalov is, for the kind of quotes you gave at the inception of your speech. It is advisable we know his background, who Professor Sibalov is. You also mentioned Abalaba. We all can all relate with what it means, but a one sentence or a one phrase translation, interpretation in English is admonish. It was a great speech. You ended in an emotional way. You tried your best to control your tears. Great one for the kind of speech, eulogy you gave to our dearly beloved Toastmaster Biola. No one can ever call you my elegant lady. We at Sunshine Toastmasters Club try to continue to call you the elegant lady. Well done, Toastmaster Somano. Back to you, Toastmaster Craig.
Thank you most kindly, Toastmaster Francis Mukolu, immediate area director for Area 18 in our Division F, District 94. Thank you for that evaluation. Very detailed, very insightful. Next, we will call again Toastmaster Chidi to evaluate the third speaker. Toastmaster Chidi, the lectern has returned to your direction. Take over now.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. General Moderator. Toastmaster Pamela. What can I say? I love how you started. So you started with a question, asking us to imagine someone giving us an address, a direction to an address. You get to the point, you miss your way, and the person has to come pick you. Your speech was very descriptive. And the interesting thing for me is the fact that I've heard the story from you. So it took me back to the conversation I had with you weeks back when we had the Get to Meet You meeting. You recounted your first physical encounter with the late Toastmaster Biola, and we laughed through it. One thing that struck me was the fact that decided to focus on the positives in a situation that would bring tears to the eyes of even the strongest of her. I loved how you use storytelling to convey your message. Imagine being told to look out for the flowers in front of the house, and you were focused on something different. Because in your understanding, the idea of having a flower in front of the house was probably a sidewalk or just there in front of the gate. Little did you know that you were going to meet a pioneer horticulturist. How interesting is that? I loved how you were able to bring smiles to her face. I love how you recounted your encounter with her, how you connected with her on a level that is beyond imagination. Speak about knowing someone without actually meeting that person physically. I love how you spoke from your heart. Your speech was personal to you, but you shared it with us and you took us on that journey. What can I say? Thank you for sharing something that could have been, in my opinion, negative, but making it so beautiful and so positive that even though our hearts are heavy, we're focusing on the impact that Toastmaster Biola had in the lives of everyone around her. You brought that to fore. Well done on being descriptive, well done on your use of language, and well done on your mastery of storytelling. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
All right, Toastmaster Chukwudi-Madu, thank you very kindly for your motivational evaluation of that speech. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal evaluation of the prepared speeches. I would now give my evaluation or my report as
thank you, our dear division. I'm pleased to call on Toastmaster the grammarian to come up as well.
All right, if you can hear me, please give me 2 fingers. Give me 2 fingers if you can hear me. Right. In regards to my accounting reports, I did not hear a speaker use the R or the and that, in my humble estimation, is highly commendable. And let me give my report in the capacity of the grammarian. First of all, I am pleased to report that the following speakers endeavored to incorporate the word of the day into the edifice of their sentence structures. Pamela used it 3 times, Abosede used it twice, Shegun used it a staggering 4 times, Chidi used it twice, and Francis used it once. Well done to all of those speakers. Speakers I observed used particularly beautiful words when they were speaking today. For example, Chidi used the word quintessence, which means embodiment. And then Tope used the word connote, which means to signify. Let me now take us into the territory of proper pronunciation. I like the way Pamela vocalized the word realized when she was speaking. Magnificent pronunciation, and it is phonetically correct. And then I was bewitched by the way Toastmaster John vocalized this adjectival phrase, prepared speeches. It was, in my humble estimation, tremendously elegant. 2 words were mispronounced over the course of the meeting. One is serving as opposed to serving. Number 2 is regime, regime, or regime as opposed to regime, regime, or regime. I figured that the word interesting was used a plethora of times over the course of the meeting. Speakers used interesting, interesting, by my count, 6 times. I would recommend that we can vary our adjectives, for instance, enthralling, fascinating, mesmerizing, bewitching, captivating, and whatnot. In terms of grammar, I wish to point out that can improve upon these expressions. 1, I took it personal, or to have been, I took it personally. Number 2, I was opportuned to be a part. This ought to have been, I had the privilege or I had the opportunity of being a part. And then last but not least, how she was a master of ceremony ought to have been how she was a master of ceremonies. Let me conclude my report by bringing to your attention certain expressions that Toastmaster Biola Olatunde would be immensely proud of as someone who had an unrivaled inclination for poetic magnificence. 1, Shegun said, screen god. That was metaphorical, that was breathtaking. And then it was Tokwe who also said, sitting on a gold mine. That was coruscatingly brilliant. And then Pamela said, I was ushered into her presence. What a breathtakingly magnificent expression. And then Toastmaster Chidi used this expression. I love how you were able to embody what she stood for. That was, in my humble estimation, absolutely brilliant. That is my report, and I commend it to you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. General Evaluator, back to you. John Awode.
Thank you for that very detailed report from your end. It can always be expected that when you have Toastmaster Cray in the building, you have the details, the very details. It was coruscatingly beautiful how you went on and on to tell us the things that we quite easily could have forgotten that were used and said during the meeting. Today is a beautiful day and we're celebrating a life well spent. Even though it hurts our heart that we are no longer with a friend, we know that she had done well and has moved on to a place even more beautiful. It is time to move on from our evaluations to consider some other things like listening to more feedbacks from our audience. We will have a few more people say their words of tribute in honor of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Then we will have our closing and we will be done for today. I will be announcing the winner of our election, our poll, much later at the close of the meeting. So let me now entertain more tributes from the people in the house. I will begin by asking if Mr. Perry is able to talk. Mr. Perry During is a son of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Was with us a while ago, just checking if okay, still with us. Are you able to speak, sir? If you are, you can unmute and say a few words.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Maybe I should check myself with this on. I'm sure you guys will kill me for saying that. And I say this again. Now I can understand now why my mom spent a lot of time, energy with the Toastmasters Club. This is beautiful. This is and I really appreciate it. Actually, I'm sure I'm going to tease my other siblings who are not here. Like, yeah, you guys missed, you know. So maybe me, Ella, and BJ will use that to lord it over the rest of them. Like, you guys missed. This is beautiful. I think I'm filled with a lot of joy, you know. I was thinking this was going to be very emotional, and it is, but in a good way. You know, I'm not a speech person like you guys, so allow me to stammer and stumble, and maybe I will try and be part of this again as soon as much as possible. You know, I think my sister Ella said everything that needs to be said about late mom. You know, I can't beat that. So it's I just want to say thank you to the Toastmasters Club for putting this together. I really appreciate, and I'm sure the rest of us are very appreciative as well. And thank you for allowing us into a part of our mom's life that we know about, but we've not really experienced with her, because it's a team of people. We are not Toastmasters, but being part of this now is just, I'm happier somehow. Like I'm experiencing, or we are experiencing a part of our life that we didn't know was this. Like, it's just good. You know, words have been said here that I think if I was recording this, I would have to like grab a dictionary, you know, to look at what they mean again. So thank you very much. I ramble a lot. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Very pleasant comment there, Mr. Perry. Was so delighted that you're happy and that with your siblings, you're excited at what we're doing here. It is the least that we can do. We are not entitled at all, and we are most grateful to have witnessed and partnered with Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. And we're sure that your own lives will live up to far more than expectation in glorifying the great works that she has done already. I would like to give an opportunity to my dear Toastmaster Ifeanyi Omoike. If she's able to speak now, Toastmaster Ifeanyi Omoike was our area director before Toastmaster Francis Mukolu, who had just passed on the baton to Toastmaster John Onumia. Toastmaster Ifeanyi Omoike, it would be nice to hear you and maybe even see your face.
Toastmaster John, good evening, everyone. I'm so sorry that I wouldn't be able to turn on my video right now where I am, but I'm going to try and make it short. Something just very brief. I just want to say concerning Toastmaster Biola. When I heard the news, it really, really, really hurt me. And I'll never forget the first day I talked to Toastmaster Biola. Toastmaster Linda, the past Area 18 director, had sent her number to me, and she told me that Toastmaster Biola was an invaluable resource. I was so impressed, and I couldn't wait to meet her. I called her, and she picked up the phone. I was so blown away by her impeccable English, and I'm sure we've all talked about the amazing way she used to just speak English well, and her warm greeting. I was surprised with the way she greeted me so warmly, even if she was speaking with me for the first time. And at that time, I didn't even know that she was also a prolific writer. Working with Toastmaster Biola was an unforgettable experience. She was a dynamite, a multi-talented powerhouse. She made my life easy as the Area 18 director. And of course, we went through so many hurdles in my tenure, but she, the indomitable champion, she worked hard to ensure that Sunshine Toastmasters came out on top. Toastmaster Biola loved this club dearly and passionately, and I was so excited when she decided to step in again as the president of the club. And I told Tim Francis at that time that he was in excellent hands. I will miss Toastmaster Biola, the pioneer president of Sunshine Toastmasters Club. I will miss her fighting spirit, her passion for Toastmasters, her wisdom, her wit, her excellent writing and speaking skills, her inspiring leadership skills, and most importantly, her love for humanity. Sunshine Toastmasters can never forget, and I also can never forget, her dedication and her zeal. and I will always be grateful to have known a timeless Amazon in my lifetime. And if I was to describe Toastmaster Biola in 3 words, and I've already used these words: inspiring, indomitable, and unforgettable. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. I am flowing in the sea of these words. For a moment, I think my name has to be Biola Olatunde. These are words that should go forward to describe any one of us if we had had the opportunity at all to come so close with this body of glory that has now stepped forward ahead of us. I'm going to have a few more comments. I'm aware that my dear DTM Dr. Eliezer would like to pass a few comments again. I know that we did not maybe quite make very detailed introduction of DTM Dotun Eliezer. He was a big pillar to taking off as a club, and he had such a robust conversation and relationship with the late Toastmaster. Toastmaster Dotun made very costly but then joyful visits to our club, at least on 2 occasions, and we had very great time spent together. And I'm sure that he will not be able to exhaust the repertoire of information that he has to share about Toastmaster Biola. I would like to have you speak now, sir, if it's okay.
Thank you so much once again for the opportunity. 3 things I want to mention from what I've learned in all of this. Anything that you think you need to do it quickly, because you never know what time is left. Live your time as if it could be the last. No one would have ever known that we'd be in this position 3 years ago. As I said, coming in contact with Madam Biola Olatunde, I think was ordained. And so today, I said I was working towards my DTM then. Thank God for everything that has been. I'm just a tool, you know, but the learning from me from all of this is that, as I said, do whatever you have to do quickly, because you never know what lies behind that. When I was working towards my DTM, I had no inclination at all that this could lead me to becoming a district director today. My term just started on July 1st of District 99 in Canada. I had no clue, no idea. I was division director then, but just working towards my DTM. But one thing led to the other, and today here I am, leading a whole district. Every time I speak on my education, as I use Sunshine Toastmaster as a case study of what's possible, even in our own environment, in our situation, that if Sunshine Toastmaster can do that far away in Nigeria, where they don't have all the opportunities and things like that, what are we talking about here, where we are seated on a plethora of opportunities? So I always use Sunshine Toastmaster as a case study to motivate even our people here. So what I'm saying here is that never limit or never underestimate the ordinary events of life. A gentleman spoke yesterday at an event I went to, 35th anniversary. It was a former district governor as well. And he said the moments of life that could change your life forever. And he mentioned 1 or 2 things, like casually just trying to use a washroom somewhere that was out of order. That was how he got connected to a job that landed him in the area where I'm in right now, Edmonton. And from there, it became something else. It got into Toastmasters. It became the district governor and all that. He never knew, just from a casual whatever of trying to use a toilet somewhere. So you never know what ordinary events that you're walking in right now what stands behind that. Please take it seriously. Take it seriously. Take it seriously. You have the opportunity. One of us has shared this experience of, he's been a broadcaster, but he never knew that there was something still missing, even in his profession. And he got introduced to Toastmasters International. Ordinary events of life could be something that could change your life forever. Lastly, I want to round up on this. So I watched some of the videos of Obama, right? Great stammerer, ums and ahs, and all that. But he just started off with a group of people when he was doing his law degree. They wanted to improve themselves, so they go around speaking, right? Just as a speaking club like this as well. And that's how they were improving themselves. But he never knew that those ordinary moments were things that will actually set him up for one major event in life, which was the speech he gave at the Democratic National Convention that made him be the first Black president of the United States. So again, we thank God for the life of Madam Biola Olatunde, that what she had in her, she lived it out. She saw it materialize, and that dream did not die. We are only vessels. We are part of this, but there's a greater future that lies ahead of Sunshine Toastmasters. Do not take it lightly. You never know what lies at the end. Thank you for this opportunity, and I hand it back to you, Toastmaster John Awode.
DTM Dotun Eliezer, you do not cease to blow my mind with the emotions and the strength of character that you portray every time, sir. You are a mentor, and I quite appreciate who you've been to us as a club and to me as a person. Thank you so much for not exercising restraint at all in sharing how you feel and those insightful thoughts of wisdom. I am privileged to have someone who is going to recite as a poem. But before I do that, can I apologize that we're exceeding time today? This is totally contrary to our character and culture as Toastmasters. It is totally contradictory to how we behave. We do not, for any reason, exceed time. But can I indulge you that for the sake of the memory of our dear pioneer and pioneer leader, Toastmaster Biola Olatunde, can we please extend the beat today to not more than 6:30 p.m. Nigerian time, so that we can duly honor her memory and share those good thoughts that we all have in our hearts before we call it a day. I beg of you, most sincerely, please, I beg of you. All right, noting and hoping that you have considered my request and approved of it, I will move on to inviting Toastmaster Cray. Toastmaster Cray has been helping us co-anchor this event and making sure that we have an exciting and smooth movement and flow in the stream of tributes. Toastmaster Cray will now please do a rendition of a poem to honor the memory of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Toastmaster Cray, over to you. I can promise you all that there's more coming. Toastmaster Cray, it's your turn.
Well, thank you very kindly. Toastmaster Biola Olatunde never let me to rest since she got to know that I teach English for a living. At 11:47 a.m. on the 25th of November 2020, he sent me a poem that galvanized me into undertaking an introspection of my humanity. That poem, you, ladies and gentlemen, to understand mortality and improve your outlook on life. Just listen. We stand in the departure hall of creation, even as we are welcomed, our baggage checked, visa granted, passport stamped, password given. We walk the vastness, a set distance from departure. Our flight announced according to approved length of stay. Some of us in transit, some of us approved. See your stay as an opportunity to get boarding pass to a lovelier place. My sincere best wishes, fellow traveler. Toastmaster Biola Olatunde, here are my words for you. Your life was a blessing, your memory a treasure. You are loved beyond words and missed beyond measure. It may seem as if the song has ended, but the melody lingers on. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster John Awode.
Thank you so very kindly, Toastmaster Cray, for that rendition. Quite nicely strung together, those words that represent beauty. Let me take a few minutes to talk about my experience with Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. I will dare not try to cover the entire experience. It will take us forever. Toastmaster Biola, as I've spoken about in the beginning, was somebody that we spoke almost every week. At least we will speak once every week since we knew, because of course of our positions and my opportune leadership position in the club. And she was a pest. Let me say it now that our children can hear. Toastmaster Biola Olatunde was a pest in my life, but it was a good one. I remember our first conversation when I went to the club meeting for the first time. I said to her, I said, "Ma, I don't have money to join Toastmasters right now. But you know what? If I am able to join, I will be committed." And she said to me, "Hey, it's fine, come." And she ensured that I joined the club, and it's been a wonderful relationship ever since. She was always on somebody's neck. Kai, woman. But we always had a wonderful time, and we had this very kind relationship that we had. Let me say one more thing that I had as an experience with her. It was that because she would always be a pest, right? Because she would always trouble me and look for my trouble and find ways to disturb my life. I had to find a way to understand her, very quickly and work with her. So what that created was a relationship of a mother and a son. And I used to refer to her as Mama before she passed. So I combined mom and mama together to make Mama. That was the way I referred to her. We had that kind of relationship and had access. She could ring me anytime and I could ring her anytime, and we could throw some nasty words at each other and smile over it regardless. That was the woman that she was. And before her passing, I think this was our last call, just a few, not up to 8 weeks or so ago, before our illness, right? And we had a call, and I was telling her that, you know what? You can never win me in a fight again. I said that with audacity to my pioneer leader. And when I said it, I was so sure she wasn't going to be able to contest it. And she admitted, she said, "I agree." So why do you think that I will never be able to win you in a fight again? I said, because I listen to you. So I listen to Toastmaster Biola Olatunde when she's raving and raging. I listen to her well for many occasions in the few years that we got to know, that she eventually had to relinquish her powers to me and say, well, when it comes to this boy, there's nothing I can do. So whenever there's anything for us to debate about, she asks for my opinion, and she has her hands like this. What do you say? And then we'll find a way around it and we'll move on. That was the relationship that we had. Since Toastmaster Cray has led the way by giving us a poem that he had written in our honor, I would like to follow in that spirit and do a rendition. I'm a spoken word poet. I have not done poetry. I've not done poetry in a while. So many things engaging me, but I will try to do a freestyle. This is what spoken word poets say. Every time you give them an opportunity, they say, "Oh, well, I don't know. I've not mastered this. I'm going to try a freestyle," so that you pardon their errors. I hope that works this time. Let me do something to honor the memory of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Maybe I can take an inspiration from the title of Toastmaster Pamela's speech. From anguish to flowers, to something like that. I don't know what you say, but I get it all right. I look to the stars and I'm wondering what's all right. What's all right? What's right in the night? Give me a little thought about the things that you do, because I consider it important that you make me a part of you. I would like to flow. I would like to know. I would like to stay in the snow. I would like to be with you when you glow. Don't grow. No, don't stay. Don't. I'm wondering what to say, but I will stay with you. I will stay because with you I have my bay. I will be with you when it goes into stay. I stay in stardom because I am a star and you are my kingdom. I will remain in you and I will meet with you. We will have conversations. We will not stop to be. This conversation will go from here to there because that is where we were meant to be. We were there before we showed up here. Time has only showed up so that we can be a part of time. And when we're done, we will cross time to timelessness. Timelessness. Remove the ness from the time, remove the less from the time, because we would have less of time now that you have gone, but I will meet you sometime soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I wonder if we have maybe one or two more comments. I just want to honor everyone. I know that some people had to go leave the conversation, but if there's no one, okay,
Toastmaster John, please.
Okay,
can I
will just
proceed?
take you. Okay, looks like Toastmaster Francis also wants to speak. All right, we'll take Toastmaster Chidi, Toastmaster Francis, and we'll close it, please. All right, Toastmaster Chidi, over to you. Don't tell me you're about to do a spoken word poet.
I can't compete with what you've just done. I certainly cannot compete with that.
Everybody wants to speak now.
I will not attempt to go there. Well done. Well done. All right. So, Toastmaster Biola, if I think back to our first encounter, it was almost like a mother, meeting her daughter who's done something good and just full of praises for her. I think it was about the time I was the program quality director during the TM Kayode's mandate. Before then, my engagement with her had been almost just official, right? Toastmasters business. But on that particular day, we had for the first time a combined club officers training. And she was over the moon because it was almost like, all right, so you brought it home to us. We didn't have to go through the stress of coming down to Lagos and whatnot. And that encounter opened up. It was like, when they say the floodgates of heaven have been opened. It opened up an opportunity to connect with her every now and then. She is a mother hen. So when I call her a mother hen, it was because I felt her as a mother. So I tell anyone who cares to listen that she is my number 2 mother in Toastmasters. So there's this Monisola Ayeshimoju, and then there is Toastmaster Biola. Toastmaster Biola will call me up every now and then just to know how I am faring. She would send me messages, and just like she did with Toastmaster Craig, she did share a poem with me on the 2nd of June this year. Sometimes I just go back and I reread it. I go through that poem and I'm like, okay, so this is something that would make you sit back and just have a rethink. Am I impacting? Am I touching people? Am I impacting lives positively? Am I leaving a mark? I don't think there's anyone who has ever come in contact with Toastmaster Biola and not have something positive to say. The truth is, she will change your complete outlook. She loved unconditionally. She gave her heart. She saw the good in everyone. And that is something that I took away from her, and that is something I'm going to hold dear to myself. I'm sorry, I'm a mess. But when I hear people speak about her today, it goes to show that, yes, this is not a part of her life that, she doesn't come out and say, oh, let me show you this part of me. She comes out and you see her for who she is. So if you see her today and you see her tomorrow, You're seeing the real her. You know when they say this is not my real face, you see her real face each and every time. And if she has to give you feedback, so you've done something that is not exactly good, you might not even know. She comes out and she tells you the way it is, it doesn't take away from the love she has for you. So she taught me to love unconditionally. She taught me to open up to everyone, understand things, that the change we want to see in this life begins with us. And that is who she is. A mother hen to me, number one cheerleader, and a pioneer. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak about her. Back to you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Toastmaster Francis, can you take a minute? I see that you wanted to speak the other time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not going to do a poem or spoken word. I can't, like Toastmaster Chidi mentioned, I can't rival with you. You are up there, and I salute you. Thornton Wilder, an American playwright, once said that the best we can give to the departed is not grief, but gratitude. So here I am today to give gratitude to the Almighty for a life well spent, to a darling, a wonderful, a cheerful Toastmaster, a gifted, a gracious, a generous, and a gleeful lady. I never knew she was 70 until I saw her invite that was late last year for her publication. She was very young at heart. In terms of follow-ups, she was top-notch. I used to think I was the master in terms of reach outs and follow-ups. Toastmaster Biola taught me that I was a learner. As early as 5 a.m., messages from her. Oga Francis, what is happening? Sunshine Toastmasters Club, updates. Indeed, now I can see myself in the shoes Toastmaster John earlier posted. She was a positive pest, a positive one that was aimed at helping the club grow, helping Sunshine Toastmasters Club always be a distinguished, President's distinguished club. And she did that. She gave the club 8 hours. 8 hours. You can imagine, you cannot beat that. And I promised her that I will, if possible, personally deliver a plaque of honor in that regard. I'll keep to my promise. I'll find a way to send that down to Akure. She fondly calls me, Oga Francis, how far? What is happening? And as Toastmaster, someone who has mentioned, no one will call me in that lighter anymore. But her memories will continue to live in my heart. Toastmaster Biola, you are a rare gem. I love you, love all that you do for Sunshine. And we pray that the team will continue from where you have stopped. Continue to rest in peace in the bosom of the Almighty, Toastmaster Biola. Christopher Holloway, an American author, mentioned as well, the life of the one we love is never lost. The memory and influence live on. Your memory lives forever in my heart. Thank you. Thank you, life, for making me be a part, for having that connection with you. Back to you, Toastmaster John.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Pamela, would you please do this in a minute? And let's have the meeting closed. Toastmaster Pamela, please.
Thank you, everyone, for coming here. And thank you for keeping up with the facial expressions. I love that. I want to share something very quickly. There was a situation that happened quite recently, probably in ending of June, May to June. So apparently Toastmaster Biola had a blog. I didn't know about this blog until she offered to interview me and feature me on the blog. And so I sent the questions and I answered and she posted them. And then I saw some edits, corrections, and I sent it to her. which she made the corrections and then posted. But apparently, I sent it in a hurry, and the later part of it had some other technical errors. But I was so embarrassed to come back and say, hey, this thing, there's something here and there's something there. But I said, okay, you know what? I sent it to Toastmaster John. And he looked at it, he screenshotted the entire thing, and then marked it like JAMB examination with red marker and everything. And then I had no choice to send it back to her. It was hilarious because between she apologizing and me apologizing, it was just a funny experience. So she kept on saying, oh, this was embarrassing. I do this, I did my work properly, I this, I that. And I kept on saying, no, ma, I'm sorry. And we kept going back and forth, and it was a very, very funny experience to share. So all I want to say is this, especially to her children and her family. You know the parts of her because you knew her from the beginning. But experiencing just a minute or a moment with her was exceptional. From peace, she came. To peace, she returned. Don't cry over this. She was amazing, and you are all amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Toastmaster Pamela, for bringing us to such an emotional benediction of this service and worship today. We are totally grateful to have known the person whose name is Biola Olatunde, and we're grateful for everyone who had joined today to pass your comments. This meeting we have ensure that it's recorded so that everyone who wants to reconnect with it can do that as much as possible. Let me take a minute or even much less than that to announce the winner of our prepared speech contest today. We had a poll, and this is the people's poll. This is not necessarily a technical examination of the performances. This is based on what people think. Who do you think did the best job in speaking about Toastmaster Biola in the prepared speech section? I am happy to announce to you that, wait, am I really happy? This person, I have beef with this person. Okay, so the winner of today's prepared speech contest is Toastmaster Teddy.
Let's clap for Igbo.
I think he was voted the winner in honor of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde. Because
she would have been shocked if I didn't win. She would have been shocked if I didn't win.
Can you imagine the arrogance and blatant pride? All right.
Adjournment.
Okay. It seemed like we have him freezing there, but it's fine. It's fine. I want to thank you all for making it happen. Toastmaster Chidi and Toastmaster Cray talked about Toastmaster Biola sending them poems. Well, I think she sent a lot of people poems, but I think she might have sent most poem to me in the last 3 years. We shared a lot of that. There was a time when we communicated with poems. So she would send a poem to me. I would respond with a poem. She would respond again with a poem, and it will go on and on until one of us says, oh, I'm tired now. So let me read to you from our last poem to me in my closure of this meeting. Tales by moonlight, the spoken word, like shafts from the harrows of the African dream, the woman in labor, the cry of a child, learning about the country, refusing to stay, the groaning of the earth, mixed with the moans of the woman, the moon, silvered, bloody. Tales by moonlight, no happy slumber, nor cheerful dawn, spirit or earth dweller. Listen to the tortured whisper of the frightened winds. One tale by moonlight, one tear down my spine, one sob down cheeks, made sudden, with our failures. To love. To love were the two words with which she ended that poem. And so that's why I want to say thank you for being so amazing today. Again, we will see some other time. And this is me saying to love, and may we have love to share for the rest of our lives. In our culture, in Toastmasters, we end our meeting by adjourning. So may I now ask for one Toastmaster to stand to that responsibility of adjourning, and then we'll have a second, and that will be all. The first Toastmaster, please.
Permit me to do the honors of calling for an adjournment of this particular special tribute meeting for our dearly departed Toastmaster, who we call in our own parlance distinguished, because you'll be shocked at the number of pathways that she has covered. Don't let me even start. Let's just adjourn the meeting before we continue on that one. Esigon Omojela is my name.
Thank you. A seconder, please.
I, Toastmaster Tokwe hereby second the motion to adjourn this meeting to another day. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I cannot extend beyond my head, but I wish I could. I would have done that to show you how grateful I am to everyone for this meeting today. I'm sure that if we had the time and the space, we would have continued to talk and to talk and to talk. But so that you can continue with the other busy schedules of this life while we are still here, let me say thank you for joining today and for making it a glorious one. We hope that we have honored the lives and times of Toastmaster Biola Olatunde the best way that we can at this time. We wish the family the best of the future to come. We hope that we will continue to connect in beauty and love and enjoy. This is me, Toastmaster John Awode, standing on the pillars of my leaders and heroes past, saying, have a wonderful evening until the best of the future. Goodbye.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye,
May her soul continue to rest with the Lord.
Yeah, it was nice having you guys. Ella, Perry, Mobolaji, telling you guys.
Who that got the most claims?
I can go back to my discipline.
Perry needs to become a Toastmaster because the number of R's and and R's need to be checkmated.
We need to cut it out. I nearly fainted.
Oh, good.
Nice one. Nice
All right.
one.
Yeah.
Thank God we were able to. I was wondering how many tissues you are going to need to get through this one. It was amazing. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, my bae didn't bring enough, but at least she tried. My bae tried.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
My division director.
Bye.
I stand in awe.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, Toastmaster Crane. Yeah, awesome.
Out of here.
Awesome. This is a clap in sign language, right?
What's that?
It's a clap in sign language, bro.
Yeah, you got it. Congratulations, you're doing good.
That's what TM Crane used to greet us today.
I did this is applause.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. So this is I love you. This is I love you for short.
Keep your love.
Really?
Language. Keep your love for
you. I love you. I love you in full.
I love you, Lord.
Shebi, we will see on Wednesday, Abby. Then you will see.
Yes. Wednesday.
That's true. I love you. You should be seen. Be seen well.
They cannot keep.
She owes me. She owes me lunch. So I'm collecting my lunch.
Definitely.
Two coolers.
Only two. Is that enough? Or 2 bags of rice?
No, 2 coolers is enough. One of rice and one of meat.
It's done.
I mean, but people can see from my face, I've not eaten for a while now.
Sorry, why are you on this call? Hello, young man.